Good. So, hello, Igor. Hello, everybody. I am NicoD, and this is Igor Petrovic. I don't know if that's correct.
Pechovnik, that's okay.
Yeah, it's hard with all those names from different countries. So we are going to talk about the new release for Armbian Quoll that's coming out this month and next week, I think. Or
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, this weekend.
This weekend. Oh, I will not be here in the weekend. I'm going away, so I'm not going to be there. And Friday too. So we are also going to talk about Armbian-next. So the build framework that is going to be updated to a newer version that is also very impactful.
Yes, it's a big change, absolutely.
So first, let's tell the people what Armbian is for those who are watching that don't know what Armbian is.
I will try to make a short version, shortest version as possible. I can say it's an ecosystem for single board computer development. That would be perhaps the shortest description. We are picking and providing best from Windows software and best from community mainline development. This is a combination of both, so you can get you can usually get kernel or let's say image to be more to put it into simple sentences from both worlds. In the end, it's more or less a standard Debian/Ubuntu operating system. But since upstream distributions are not supporting this extreme diverse work, we do that. Currently, we have around 200 board configurations. Each
That's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot.
We're gonna have to drop some, I think.
Yeah, but those are not all. Not talking about supported ones.
Just in total.
Yes, in total. But we can say there are more of them in third-party products, and people are using, let's say, build system for their private purposes, which means the build board build configs numbers is even bigger. In general, those configs are divided into up to three different hardware interfaces. Let's say some are using just legacy kernel, which is coming from the vendor, usually some old Android stuff. Then we have up to two different mainline versions, which we provide. We call it current and edge. Current is like most stable. Yes, LTS, and edge is
just the newest.
Yes, the newest. What's on the kernel org? It's the newest Linux kernel.
So for x86 and for
yes, architecture-wise, I would say we support. We started with ARM32 10 years ago, and ARM64 joined in a few years. Then recently, or let's say recently, it's already 3 or 4 years ago, we added x86 and last year or this year RISC v64.
I heard there were plans to have separate names for RISC-V, RISC-Armbian.
Those are ideas, but I think we are not unified in those ideas. It's just on the idea.
I would keep the same name because it is recognition. Else people will not make the link with Armbian.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, x86, here we don't have big share, let's say. We primarily use those builds on our machines, on our servers, and laptop.
I use it to build Armbian images, but now I'm using RK3588. Let's first start with how you started with Armbian. What board brought you to using Armbian? That's something that interests me.
I started with QB board. That was
first from Tom QB.
Yes, yes, exactly. Tom QB from Russia today. He made a QB board. It was 2011, 12, something like that. Yeah, so it's about 10 years ago. And the idea was actually very simple. I just want to have a simple, low-powered server running some Debian. I want to run some services at home. That was the need and the idea for starting.
But the problem was probably there was no software that worked.
Exactly. It's actually the same as today, just the.
But we have Armbian.
Yes, we have Armbian. We have a community which is doing this a lot faster. That time it took probably 1 or 2 years longer before you get a system that you could trust to run something on. And also hardware was a lot. It was a lot more simply designed. As we talk about RK3588 is latest technology. It's
now we've got PCIe, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got 2.5 gigabit Ethernet.
Yes. It's all it's let's say high end in a way, but also the processor or system on the chip is a lot more complicated, complex.
8 cores versus 1 core or 2 cores from back then. So
yes.
Things have changed a lot. My first time that I used Armbian was on the Odroid C2, and that's also 6 years ago right now. So I had okay software for the Odroids, but Armbian was better. So that was how I came to Armbian.
I think Odroid C2, if you mentioned it, it was the first 64-bit device we supported within Armbian, if I remember correctly.
It is crazy. They still bring out boards now that aren't as powerful as the Odroid C2 was.
Not all boards need that power. That's one.
Yeah, that's true.
Second, perhaps you're probably meaning for risk.
That's normal, but
yes, it's like new architecture, so doesn't need to be the most powerful right from the beginning. So.
Or like the H6 Allwinner H6 and H616, those are very slow, but yeah, I don't like them as much as the Amlogics. Amlogic doesn't overheat. So do you know how many people work on Armbian?
Well, so we can estimate regulars on around 20 people. That's
20 people.
Yes, that are around regularly. Some are more, some are less, of course, but and then we can extend up to maybe 30 to 50 people, which
contribute.
Yes, which we can say they contribute, they show up, fix something, they're gone for months, they show up, fix something, they're gone for months, but they're around somewhere. So this represents, like, let's say, a core of this doers or contributors community. So of course the rest are users which are also contributing, but on the different way.
But it's also not only developers that help around. You don't have to be a developer to be able to help. So what do we need? For example, a graphics designer would be nice.
well, nice to have is more in project management, not just, I would say, engineers, this kind of that kind, because we have a lot of people that are around, but management is usually the problem. And also writing texts, like instructions, manuals, yes, manuals is really terrible. And let's say with this upcoming changes to build framework, we don't have not a single line of manual yet. So the code is working, we are testing it, we will switch it very soon, but the manual is behind. Well, it should be compatible, so original one should work, but additional features are not there yet.
Not documented yet.
Yes, yes. We need to transfer. Actually, the task is to transfer it from Ricardo made well documented merge request. So one should go through all of those and somehow put
find out what needs to be added. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So if somebody feels they can do this, please contact us and
yes,
let us know, because we can use more people and you don't have to be a dev.
yes, developer is one thing, but so like you mentioned, graphic design, we have many things that would need graphics tune up. So text. Also, I am building a team for automated testings and Armbian configurator. So both are scripting level of scripting level development. So it doesn't need, you don't need to understand a lot of coding, but you need to understand why do we need testing, why do we need configurator, so to put things together.
So now let's go to the Armbian release. So Armbian Quoll, I think it's called, will be released in the weekends.
Yes.
So what does that bring with us?
First, perhaps biggest change is new LTS kernel 6.1.
Yeah.
But it's not all families were moved to this kernel yet. For I say some chips are not well supported. Yeah, there. So we said to move to 6.1 with current only where we are sure that it's safe and it will work better than staying on previous one 5.15.
To save people from problems.
Yes, well, it's no kernel is problem free, but we said which is better for certain device. We can afford that because all kernels are divided by families, so we can bump one and leave the other one at the oldest version. So then new hardware is more or less a few of 3588, a few others.
5.5 and the Rock 5B, I think.
Yes. And few other minor, few other variants of other boards. So nothing major. Also, mainline preview of kernel for 3588 we are providing, but it's not working. It's not usable for anything, so it's just to boot it up. What we change? We change repository management, but this is more like a backend service. Users would not notice that. We fixed it, hopefully Wi-Fi or Orange Pi 3. There were many fixes to Armbian install. Previously, NAND SATA install. We renamed this a few months ago. So the link is still exists. If you would type NAND SATA install, it will still work. So Armbian install is now a little bit more compatible with UEFI. So this part changed mostly. Then there were several 10, let's say, smaller bug fixes which were added. More in the build log. I will not go through this. It's a lot.
There's too many
small changes, but
changes.
so
But,
who is interested should go to the.
Actually, for the normal users, they shouldn't be seeing much changes if everything goes well.
Exactly.
If it doesn't go well, then they will see that there is something wrong.
From user perspective, the login is the same, the desktop looks the same, everything looks exactly the same. Nothing has been changed in this regard.
But for the more advanced users, they...
Yes, it's a lot of change. It's a lot of work behind.
Yeah, of course. Are there any plans for the next release?
For the next release is I would say related to this switch of build framework. This build framework switch is also going to happen very soon. Regardless of the state or and the absence of what's new, because it's in better state than let's say what we used
and the default.
Yes, the default or master, because logging is much more. Logging was improved, so we can find bugs a lot faster. Caching is better, patching is better, so all assembly is a lot faster.
Debugging.
Yes. This I tested this nightly builds, which we have enabled. I don't know, 20 different builds. Usually those we have in development phases. Previous CI needed 1 hour to assemble all those images, and this one it assembles in less than 10 minutes. So
10 minutes.
Yes.
That's so, an improvement of 6 times.
It's crazy. It's so the new build framework is a lot faster. It's crazy faster. So
certainly when you build x86 on x86, or when you build ARM on ARM, then it is a lot faster.
Yeah, it's still a few minutes. Actually, the caching was so improved. Of course, if you build everything from sources, this of course takes time. Kernel
and downloads.
Yes, but also the download. Now we have kernel Git caching, which means all sources are downloaded in one package.
Oh yeah.
So and then it just updates that package. So there are many changes to improve, let's say, overall.
How did we come to change to creating a new version? How did that start? Because it's a long time coming.
Well, started 2 years ago. I think Ricardo needed a few things to be added to the system. It was not the build system was not flexible enough for his needs. That was, let's say, the most basic description. So he added few things. Then he just continued to fix things. But when he came to the situation that it was not so few let's say when structural changes was too big, he could push to the master anymore. So, but he kept continuing.
So he started a separate branch for it.
Yes, he actually turn the complete system apart and assemble it
piece by piece.
yes, in the new ground from ground up, from scratch, let's say.
It is impressive.
Yes, yes, but it's actually the best way because if you have this, our build script development was done really naturally. It was not planned, but this development was a lot better planned. It was planned, so we knew what we now today we understand where are the problems, what do we know, what do we need, and so on. And he followed those things.
Those guidelines.
Yes.
Yeah. We could talk about Armbian config refactor or
nothing new.
Not yet.
I mean, it's we are very slow. I would like to. I hope somebody will join. I would say more people will join because we are not moving anywhere. That's the problem. Yeah, with this part. Yeah.
So people, we need. What language do they need to write?
It's Bash. It's plain Bash.
Just Bash. So
yes, it's
people
simple.
who are good in Bash, we are working on a new version of Armbian config.
Average Bash is already. It's not. They don't need. Let's say high level. It's average Bash, just persistence.
Yeah, but I can write Bash too. But I'm not gonna.
You will. If you will submit pull request that it's not good, it will be rejected. Don't worry about it. So.
So for people who want to help with that, that's also a big part that can be added.
Yeah, that's the last part of, let's say, junk code or dirty code that it's dragging alongside. All other things we have rewrite from scratch. Build system is now completely renewed. So it's time.
Everything piece by piece is being upgraded into the best version it can be.
Exactly.
I think we've talked about everything. Is there something you want to add?
Well, we have a release coming, right? Armbian-next will be enabled. We are talking about moving development topics from forum to GitHub.
Yeah,
this is now ideas. Yeah, we don't know yet if this is good or bad. Some want it, some have thoughts, but we might do that. So to perhaps improve communication on GitHub itself. What else? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I think I didn't prepare more than this, so I didn't want to take too much of your time, and people do not want to watch a video that's 1 hour long. So thank you for this meeting, Igor. I hope we can do this more in the future. So we will see if there's another release or something like that. So
we will probably need to do something, some presentation about Armbian-next.
Oh yeah. I am gonna make videos about that. I've got that in the pipeline, but I'm waiting until Armbian-next is the default framework. Then I can do it Then I can do everything the way it's default done for the users.
It can be default. It can be set to default right after our meeting, so it's ready.
Yeah, that's good. But I'm not sure if Ricardo is ready for it.
No, Ricardo is absent. He's offline due to storms.
Yeah, I heard something about that. I hope he's doing well. So thank you, Igor. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you later. Bye.
Bye.